Hello, welcome back to Faewood Mead, or welcome to Faewood Mead if you are new here. Hi, nice to meet you. So today is my second book review. If you haven't seen the first one, I will link it. I reviewed the Welcome Mead book, which was super cool. It's all historical based recipes, and I highly recommend it. Today, I am looking at the Big Book of Mead Recipes by Robert Ratliff. This book, unlike the last one, it's pretty much all recipes. What do you know? Over 60 mead recipes from all styles. This is pretty simple, actually. Even in like the forwarding stuff, there's not necessarily a whole lot of information happening here. So this book was written in 2017. There is a foreword by Vicky from Got Mead, which is pretty cool. I mean, I can pretty much just read the back to give you information about this guy. So it says, an experienced mead maker, Robert has been studying mead and its creative aspects since 2006. So at this point, he's been brewing for 11 years. He has won multiple awards during competition with his meads at the annual Mazer Cup International Mead Competition over the years, and is regularly sought out for his input on recipe ideas. As a newly certified BJCP mead judge, Robert looks forward to offering advice to entrants in upcoming competitions. And it kind of just goes on about him and how he's traveled because he's in the military and he's tried meads from all kinds of different countries. So going through the book, we've got, table of contents, which is mostly meads, a variety of types of meads. There's a little thing about mead, history of mead, super basic, the definition, types of honey, which this part is actually pretty cool because he goes into a lot of different types of honeys, sweetness levels, nutrients, staggered nutrient, talking about Tosna, types of mead. This is pretty cool as well, especially if you want to look at meads from different countries. It'll give you their appropriate names for like Lithuanian mead, Russian meads, things like that. BJCP categories. He does have an equipment list, how to read a hydrometer, and then it goes straight into recipe making. The only things to note, I suppose, about his recipes, he does, stabilize. He does recommend using Fermate O and Tosna for your nutrient schedule. He does not, however, use any acid or tannin blends to balance his meads. So that is something that is missing. So I suppose the recipes should be balanced on their own. A lot of the meads in the beginning are pretty simple, like pineapple melomel, oak to orange blossom sizer, things like that. And then around page 96 is where the recipes start getting a little bit more complex. Sizer with spice additions, chocolate poached pears, which is one that I thought about doing. He's got some really creative, fun recipes in here. I definitely recommend this if you need recipe ideas. Herbs or like florals, he doesn't really get into a whole lot. It's mostly like spices and fruits and things like that. So today I am trying out his chili mango recipe. He gives you your yield, so all of these are built for a gallon of mead. Got the original gravity of 1.132. Final gravity of 1.025 with an ABV of 14%, which is pretty on the nose for the yeast, you know what I mean? Yeast are supposed to, certain yeast strains are supposed to max out at 14%, but rarely do they, I've noticed. And it does give you starting and final brie if you follow that. So primary, 2 grams of yeast. He does call for Lalvin D47, and unfortunately, that yeast has been sold out in my homebrew shop for months, I think, because every time I've gone in to look for it, it's not there. So I've kind of stocked up on yeast, honestly, just because some of them just sell out. So instead I have 71B, which is like the kind of counterpart to D47. They're a bit similar. Calls for Go Firm, Fermate O, gives you, when to pitch that. 3 pounds of orange blossom honey, 1 pound of fresh mango cut into cubes. It's interesting to me that it's only a pound of mango, 12 ounces of maple syrup, and pectinase, which prevents haze from the fruit pectin. However, I also don't have pectinase. So if this ends up hazy, I mean, I can just use a fining agent like Sparkleoid. In secondary, I will be adding a juice and zest from 1 lime, and it does say to stabilize, and then you let it sit, hang out, and then there's a final racking. So I suppose we're assuming that we rack twice here. And then in a spice bag, I will add a teaspoon of chili powder. So kind of how these go is on the front page, you've got a basic layout, ingredients list, things like that. And then on the second page is in more detail what you are doing. So it starts like directions before starting clean and sanitize all of your equipment. It does say to pour your water into a stock pot and then add your honey, just to like dissolve it, and you let it hang out. And then you do your yeast starter, which we're gonna do in some hot water. Let the mixture hang out. It says 15 to 20 minutes, which I guess is appropriate. Rarely do I ever do that. And then we add fruit chunks, maple syrup, pectinase if you have it. It does say aerate must twice daily until 1/3 sugar break, and then once daily until the 2/3 sugar break, which is interesting because I don't think I have ever seen that where you aerate like regularly past the 3rd day. And this says when starting gravity reaches final gravity, rack to secondary. So I'm kind of wondering here, that starting gravity is pretty high. And I'm not really sure if like I'm supposed to cut the yeast short of what they're doing, because like you're not supposed to stop your yeast necessarily. Or if I just let them continue on and do their thing until they naturally end. I don't know. Well, we have fruit to cut and things to do. Oh boy, okay. Well, I'm gonna measure out my maple syrup real quick. All right, I have exactly 12 ounces of maple syrup here. Oh boy. Well, I'm gonna put this water in here since there's sugar in here. And the yeast can wake up in that when I add them. I'm gonna put sanitized, of course, this thermometer in here. A pound of mangoes just doesn't seem like very much. It just says to cut into cubes, so I guess I'll cut them into small cubes. So, definitely lost quite a bit of weight with the, such a mess, with the seed in the middle and the, I don't know, the skin. So I don't know if I should peel like another half a mango just in case. This is work. This is the hardest part of this mead. In the meantime, the temperature looks right for 71B. It's had plenty of time to warm up out here, so I'm gonna pour about half the packet in. Okay, just a little bit of extra mango. I'm gonna weigh out 2 grams, basically 2.5 grams of Go Firm. Mix this up. Oh boy. Yeah, this is potent, all right. Starting gravity is supposed to be 1.132. That's spot on. I think that's right. 1.132. And I am going to use the Tosna nutrient schedule once again. Just want to mention that. With if I don't have Fermaid O, I'll use Fermaid K. I should have Fermaid O though. All right, let's see how this goes. We're back. It is now October. It's been 2 months. Whoopsie. All right, so here's what I've done to this since I last filmed, okay? So after primary fermentation, I did rack this and I took the gravity. It ended at 1.018. Although I did not mention if I stabilized. Woo! Don't know if I did. Actually, I have no idea if I did. But I did add the juice of a lime later on. I really haven't done very much to this. What we're doing today, because this has been sitting and sitting, it's been clearing. It's cleared very, very well. I do need to add the chili. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rack it, and then I'm gonna take a gravity reading just in case. So pretty and clear. All right, I must have stabilized it because it is the exact same gravity. 1.018 has not moved. Let's see what this tastes like. It does smell mango-y. Mango-y and honey-y. As it should. That's pleasant. I would add more mango to this personally. 1 pound doesn't seem like very much, but I think maybe that's the goal with this mead, is to have more of a subtle mango flavor. I think maybe the chili is supposed to be at the forefront, but there is actually a surprising amount of mango character in this. The citrus from the lime is really nice. Now the last step to this is the chili powder. In the book, he says to taste the mead every 12 hours. And I do add a whole teaspoon of chili powder. So you check it every every 12 hours until it's the right kind of flavor that you want, the right level of heat. Trying not to touch anything with this bag to keep it sanitized. Boop, there we go. All right, so from here, I'm gonna try it every 12 hours and I'll let you know how many hours I wait until I take it out. And then I'm going to bottle it and we'll see what it tastes like. Here we are. It's tasting time, tasting time. This has been bottled for about a month, so I will be doing a year tasting on this. I've already done like 2 mead tastings. This is 15%. Let's see. I don't think when I tasted it last that I was all that impressed, to be honest. So in his book, he doesn't talk about back sweetening at all. Now my mead had ended at a lower gravity than his did, so mine has less sweetness. And I know I had left in the chili for, I think, kind of a while. Yeah, so we'll see how chili-y this is, but I didn't feel like I could really taste it very well. And maybe my chili powder was like a little too old. You might want to use a fresher chili powder. You can smell it, and you can smell the mango. I mean, the aroma's pretty subtle. You do get the alcohol fumes in your nose though. All right, let's see. Oh. Yeah, I left that chili in there for a while. It's got a little heat to it. It's not bad. The mango though is lacking for me. You do get it, but it's very, very mild. This is a very mild mead. Probably should have taken that chili out sooner. It's okay. It's just okay to me. There's nothing too special about this one, I wouldn't think. I would like to try one of the recipes. He uses creme de cacao to add chocolate instead of cacao nibs. Like I just opened up one of these and it says perfect poached pears. It uses cranberry honey, bay leaf, apple juice, pear juice, pectinase in primary, and in secondary there are raspberries, blackberries, vanilla bean, cloves, and orange, which is like a lot. I'm like, perfect poached pear. How do you get pear out of that? Where the pear at though? Yeah, I would like to try out some of these other recipes. This one in particular, I wouldn't make it again. Let me know if any of you have this book. I feel like this is a pretty popular one to own. I don't know, that's it. That's all I have to say about it. I have like no words now. I mean, on the nose, it's chili and mango, but it's also kind of like, it doesn't smell that appetizing. Like I don't smell it and feel like I want to drink it, you know? It's just kind of like, it's okay. The heat, it just feels wrong to me. To be honest, I can't really tell if it's all chili, or part of it's chili and part of it's like ethanol. I did step feed this with Fermento, so I'm interested to see how this is going to be in a year. If, you know, some aging on it is gonna make those flavors a little bit more palatable or what. Well, anyway, let me know if you want to see another recipe out of here. There are some interesting, more dessert-like meads, or fruited, more heavily fruited meads. Dear Robert Ratliff, why is this recipe in your book? I am not a fan. Love, Faye. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. Heyo! I hope you like the book series. Please check out all my links. Consider subscribing if you are not subscribed. And I'll see you around next time. Mwah. Bye!